A lot of you guys wanted me to rate the MiG-23ML, and here it is. And the top commented vehicle of this video will be the next one I do. And I have to have the vehicle to do these. First up, the MiG-23ML has a maximum speed of 2,358 kilometers per hour at 13,000 meters. For you guys using Freedom units, that's about 1,465 miles per hour. On the deck, it reaches comfortably over Mach 1.1. Additionally, it has a really good rate of climb and a really good acceleration. This is only really beat out by like 1 or 2 aircraft in the BR bracket, so it's gonna get a 9 out of 10 for speed. As for agility, it is possible to dogfight in this vehicle as long as your wings are out. And this BR is kind of weird because there's a bunch of light vehicles and there's also a bunch of heavy vehicles, so you'll win about 50% of the dogfights you enter depending on the vehicle. So I'm gonna give it a nice 5 out of 10 for agility. As for offensive armament, you can carry a maximum of 6 missiles, your best of course being the R-24s and the R-60s. The R-24s are probably the best radar missile in this BR, and the R-60s are kind of lacking compared to the Magic and the 9L. As for your cannon, it is a 23mm Gish with 200 rounds. Personally, I don't really like the Gish. It's slow and it doesn't have a lot of ammo. All in all, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for offense. Moving over to defense, you can have a maximum of 72 large caliber countermeasures, which is absolutely fantastic, and they are split. On the downside though, your RWR is severely lacking because it's only going to track 3 bands. It doesn't have launch detection and it only has tracking detection. Additionally, it's only directional, although that's kind of average for this BR. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for defense. For cast, your best options are the S-24B rockets and the KH-23M missiles, which are M-Class, so you do have to manually guide them. Other than that, your munitions are pretty lackluster for ground pounding capability, so this vehicle is quite poor at cast. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. As for features, it does have flares and chaff, radar and optical detection, RWR, and a ballistic computer. But I think the best feature is that if your radar missile loses radar lock, it'll somewhat guide towards the radar target even though you're not hard locked on them. On the downside though, and previously mentioned, its RWR is kind of poopy. Additionally, its radar is really finicky and sometimes it doesn't even track people. So for features, it's gonna get a 7 out of 10. As for durability, I've legitimately flown this thing without wings and RTB just fine, so this is gonna get a 10 out of 10 for durability. As for difficulty, this vehicle isn't that hard. Majority of the time, you're just gonna be booming and zooming enemies with all 6 of your missiles. The hardest part about this vehicle, in my opinion, is definitely just using the Gish cannon, but you'll also struggle with the fact that you're gonna get up-tiered a bunch, so you will be outclassed. So with 10 being the easiest, I'm gonna give this vehicle a 6 out of 10. Moving over to the fun value, I did have some fun with this vehicle because it just felt like a better pencil fighter. But again, the radar was infuriating because it kept unlocking things, and up tiers can definitely be painful. So for the fun value, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Moving over to the worth value, this aircraft is the perfect vehicle to get if you want to grind out the entire Russian air tree because it is a rank 7 premium. I mean, just for filming for this video, I unlocked 3 new aircraft for Russia. So for its worth value, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. This gives the MiG-23ML an overall score of a 62 out of 100, which is a B rating, and I do recommend getting this vehicle.